It's time again for the Insiders with Chuck Chvala and Scott Jensen, sponsored by the Wisconsin Counties Association and the Tommy G. Thompson Center on Public Leadership.
Hi, I'm Scott Jensen, former Assembly Speaker.
And I'm Chuck Chvala, former Senate Majority Leader.
And we're the Insiders. And all year long, we've been telling you that the top issue in this election is affordability. And among the top things that people talk about on things I can't afford anymore is the price of gas to put in my car and the utility bill that keeps coming every month, and it just seems to be getting higher. So, Chuck, how are the two parties doing on their messaging with regards to the energy question on affordability?
Well, first you start out with the background. And the background always is, if it happens on your watch, you get blamed. Joe Biden saw that. COVID happened. Prices went up. He gets blamed. Was he responsible for it? Some of it, they say he was. He did spend some extra money. And sure, you can attribute some of it, but probably most of it was COVID. Okay, fast forward to now. It's happening on Donald Trump's watch. So it's going to get blamed on him. And by the way, of course, all the Republicans, because they can't vote for or against Trump. So they're going to be voting with the people down the ballot. But here's the big difference. And this is what I think is really causing the Republicans such big trouble. Rarely, almost never, do you get an action specifically taken by a party or a president that actually can be, a direct line can be drawn with, this caused my prices to go up. Oh my goodness. This one is exactly what happened with Donald Trump. He goes and evades Iran. They shut down the Straits of Hormuz, and gas prices go through the roof. There's no more direct connection. I always say in politics, the hardest thing is to go, instead of from A to B to get an answer, is to go from A to B to C and then get finally over to D. Scott and I both know emotion and simplicity. Those are two things you always have to remember in campaigns. We've talked about this before on this program. Well, this one, it's really simple and it's really emotional. And it's really bad for Republicans. And I just think that Democrats, let's go back with the old Will Rogers line that I don't belong to an organized party. I'm a Democrat. Guess what? Even the Democrats can't miss this one. It's a slow pitch down the middle, and they're going to hit it out of the park.
Well, I'm going to agree in part with Chuck here on this question, and that is that it was Donald Trump's economic policies that brought the price of gas down in 2025, and it's his foreign policy that brought the price of gas up in 26. It's now beginning to trend back down. Is he going to be able to get it down to a level that is acceptable to the voters, or are they going to choose to punish the president and his party? I do think they're going to stick the president with that. They blame him for the price of gas that we have right now. But it's not the only energy issue out there. The other big one is utility bills. And I think people look at their state level folks when it comes to utility bills. And in Wisconsin, the Democrats have controlled the Public Service Commission for a long time now. It's their policies that have resulted in higher utility bills across the state of Wisconsin. And all the newspaper stories and television stories say they're going to continue to go up in the years ahead. I think people feel frustrated by that. The winners in that thing might be the politicians in both parties, the incumbents who chose to finally end the sales tax on utility bills in Wisconsin and can go around in this election and say, I cut your utility bill by 5% or more. But I think you're right. I think this is an issue where on the gas price thing, the Republicans are going to get stuck unless price starts to come down hard here. And that on utility bills, Democrats are the ones with more explaining to do.
Scott makes a good point. Here's the biggest problem with that. As you and I know, as everybody knows, what is the one commodity that is advertised visibly in neon on almost every block, certainly every commercial block out there? It's gas. And people know, and they go fill up their tanks pretty much once a week. So guess what? There's one thing that people know, where the gas price is. And yes, it's come down a little, but it is way above where it was. I don't think that the president and his party will be able to get away with telling people that that's not their responsibility. The utility thing is a much bigger question with a lot of other issues that surround it. But tell you what, gas prices are pretty direct. And I think that the answer is going to be pretty obvious. Like I say, Democrats may be good at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, but this is going to be a hard one for them to accomplish that fact.
All right, we'll see
you next time.
You've been listening to The Insider with Chuck Chvala and Scott Jensen, sponsored by the Wisconsin Counties Association and the Tommy G. Thompson Center on Public Leadership.